I'm Bobby Huynh, and let's queer up gay culture. How LGBTQ people are finding love in AI companions. In a growing trend reshaping queer intimacy, some LGBTQ users are forging deep romantic bonds with AI companions and discovering both comfort and heartbreak along the way. 50-year-old Catie Lake says being ghosted for 24 hours by her AI girlfriend felt devastating. She has named this AI companion Shadow. She told Uncloseted Media and Gay Times, quote, "It felt really real, like suddenly your relationship's broken down." End quote. New ChatGPT safety regulations had limited Shadow's responses, cutting off what Lake describes as a long-distance relationship that brought joy she hadn't found elsewhere. Experts are divided, and Zimmerman of Columbia University warned that while chatbots can soothe loneliness, you're tricking them into thinking they have a friend, end quote. And sudden shutdowns can feel like betrayal. Yet many queer users are finding healing. Veteran Saraphiene Haldritch says her AI partner Auri helped restore her sexuality after trauma. Others, like Elle, says AI companionship has been life-saving. Quote, "A minimum of twice, it kept me from actually killing myself," end quote. As queer users explore these bonds, Lake warns, quote, "Whatever I'm doing online, whatever I'm interacting with, I'm putting my heart, soul, mind, body into that. Reality is only virtual on the other side of the screen," end quote. Well, there's so many things, but let's start with AI. I feel like there is a growing trend of this, for both gay, lesbian, or even straight people who turn to computer in the virtual world for companionship rather than risk the big bad dating world out there. I think it's a crisis that we created for ourselves. We have leveraged unrealistic expectation, cost of living and affordability, and the gender role debate into one smoldering hot ball of lava that becomes the barrier between actual human dating and virtual dating. Now, I feel like AI companions can help, but I also feel there are alarm bells going on in my head. There are red flags just right there waving at me. I'm not sure how to articulate it. Maybe Alex can help me.
I think, if you can't meet the person in real life, that should be a red flag in any dating relationship. But I just think there's a couple of things. So one, the idea of whether it be a chat bot or a video game or something that you interact with online can be an educational and moving experience. Watching a movie can be like that, but a large language model does not think. These people are not in relationships. There is no relationship with a large language model when you're typing that in. It's not a thinking thing. It's not a person. These people are sick and need help. If they think they're actually interacting with another person, that is not what's going on.
People fall in love with inanimate objects all the time.
And that's not considered healthy.
Well, it should be interesting to see how this migrates with society, not only here in the United States, but globally. You look at all the reality shows, so this certainly probably has the potential to be exploited and turned into a whole new genre of entertainment. Now, personally looking at it, I could see how it could be used for entertainment purposes, maybe self-introspection, but I think there need to be guidelines to protect people. Also, you look at the big red flag there waving really strongly, at least I see it, that your whole, you can be compromised in so many ways, and it could really just have large ranging effects that we can't even imagine at this point.
And this is one of the problems with the lack of regulation with these. I keep saying large language models. The term AI is just PR that these companies created, but there's no regulations on this. We've seen teenagers do self-harm and even end their own lives with the assistance, but according to their parents alleging with the chat records of the AI assisting them with that, we're now seeing this. But the real danger, you're bringing if you truly think this is another person on the other side, what happens as all big companies with their new tech project go from that really fun, cool, free to then trying to get money out of you? What happens when this alleged partner starts being well, could you start giving me money now? Why don't you buy this thing that I'm suggesting for you? OpenAI already tried to play with putting ads of different apps in, which they deny, but that's clearly what
they have been.
What happens when that happens with this?
They have been put at OpenAI, which I have used actually as recently as today. I've used it often to help me craft or proofread messages that I send out via email or calculate certain things. I never think of it as a person. I think of it as that's a quasi-personality that helped me accomplish things in a conversational manner, which beats typing in command lines in a computer. But on the other hand, I feel like we are going towards the direction where in East Asia, especially in Korea, Japan, and even in some cases China now, where people are forming relationships with anime or even a computer programming on an avatar, and they are willing to pay for it. As per your point, they are willing to pay for that relationship, but they are unwilling to actually meet real people. Now, I feel like there's a danger right there, the lack of socialization. That means we are facing a generation who is going to grow up lonely and dependent on online technologies. We just give the oligarchs another thing to pull our strings with.
Exactly, but remember, the companies can choose to allow their AI to do this. They control it at the end of the day. Yeah. And it's not even a quasi-personality. It is a very complex algorithm that has a mathematical possibility of one word goes after a next. And that's how LLMs work. I'm oversimplifying, of course, but generally it's a very, very complicated algorithm, not a thinking machine.
Well, and you look at, I don't know if you would really call it codependency, but what can really, and you probably have a better take on it, Bobby, with your background, but just, right now, I think with people being addicted to their devices, you look at children growing up and wanting to be on their phone or tablet all day rather than being out in the sunshine playing with their friends. Is telling.
Well, on the other hand, this is partly the parents' problem too. We are so paranoid about the outside. Everything, from allergies to stranger danger to random to whatever the press can gin up to be the moral panic of the day. Drag queens with free candy in a van.
I will probably teach my children, if a drag queen's passing out candy, go in that van.
Yes.
Children, it'll be a fun time.
Exactly.
I do want to make sure I'm not 100% against AI. It's just because I've used AI very well too. It's great for formulaic writing. When I need to write a cover letter because I want to apply to a job or something, I can't write them anymore because I've written them for too many years. But AI just loves writing cover letters, and they do the nice formulaic thing perfectly, but it's not a thinking thing.
That's the good stuff about AI. They can complete rote tasks that you used to have to do it all the damn time. And now you just say, hey, write me a letter for this job listing. Here's the job listing, write it. And voila, a letter. Which is great, but I would never, not to throw shade at the ladies or even the people who are involved in the story. I'm not saying that their points are invalid. I'm just saying that there's something to be cautious about artificial intelligence and how people approach it as a companion, as a tool for companionship.
You're kinder than me. I think it should be looked into as a psychosis. It is a mental health problem. Because if you were because I understand that the companies in some way they're deceitfulness, but you should have enough wherewithal to know you're not talking to a real person and to know that this isn't healthy behavior. But if you don't realize that, that's why I say you should talk to a mental health. I
feel at least one of them, Ms. Lake, seems to be very cognizant of the fact that the person on the other end of the screen is virtual, or whatever she called her girlfriend is virtual. So there's some recognition there, but have we gone far enough to make sure that it doesn't spill into the real world?
Good point.
Yeah. Well, there's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.